Hello, and welcome again to the railway. I thought today I'd show you a new acquisition. This is the Bachman GP 40, which is very similar to the lifelike GP 38 here. And I thought we'd compare them side by side. There's slightly more detail on the Bachman one, as you'd expect. And this Bachman one is from a slightly later time when they've got a centrally mounted motor leading with prop shafts to the two gear towers for each bogie. So as you can see, the big difference you can notice straight away is the pilot at the front is modelled properly, and compare that to the lifelike one. There's just a big hole there, mainly because that's to accommodate the extension arm from the bogie reaching out the front. Now Bachman have got away with it because they mounted the coupling actually on the locomotive body and not the bogie, which means that you can model it a lot better. The other thing it's got is finer scale handrails. They're still plastic, but they're noticeably thinner than the lifelike ones. Apart from that, the detail on them both is fairly similar. You'll notice as this one goes round, the Bachman one, there are numbers. You can probably almost see them there. The numbers are actually in the lit number boards there, so that's a good thing. And yeah, I thought I'd show you that Bachman there, and there's another Bachman locomotive over here. Thought we'd compare the two. That class 47 is from about 15 years ago, I think. I've got that one. So we'll have a comparison. We'll also run the old Triang Canadian Pacific style locomotive with some nice silver North American coaches, and so let's get it underway. I'll just move that one there for a minute, and let's get this Bachman one on the way, and we'll see how we get on with it. Right, so here goes. Starts off nice and smoothly and slowly. Remember, this is from the probably late 70s or the 80s, so it's not that newish. There's no flywheels on the motor, but that's got quite a nice growl to it as well, hasn't it? Let's increase the speed slightly. That's about 50%, so it's not a racehorse. Nice bit of sunshine coming in on this Monday bank holiday. If I give it a bit more current, we'll see the headlights light up a bit more, I think. There we are, we're on about 70% now. So it's quite a good looking model. The paint scheme is slightly more elaborate than the lifelike one, but that's not due to any cheapness on the part of Lifelike. This is actually a genuine Santa Fe livery without the black and yellow lines, which they did. And I'm not sure which livery is later. Well, it's one or the other, I suppose, isn't it? But I've seen pictures of them in both versions. Slightly more noisy round the corners than it is on the straight. Let's turn it down to a slightly more sedate speed. Yes, I'm quite pleased with that one. That was nice and cheap. It's got lights at the back which light up at the same time as the ones at the front, so but still it's quite nice. And let's get this Canadian Pacific locomotive on its way. It's got the same chassis as the old Triang Princess Elizabeth, so it's got a good pedigree, it's nice and smooth. It's got a light on the front, so let's watch that coming up the road here. Yeah, it's not a bad model for when it came out, you know, in the 50s. It's got a brass bell, a brass whistle next door to it. Fairly good detail. There's the rattly old, these carriages have got metal bogies and metal couplings. They're quite rattly at times. I do like the old Vista domes. Great looking coaches. So let's park up the GP40 and we'll have a look at the Bachman Class 47. So I'll just do that over there, and this over here. And we'll get the Class 47 on its way. Right. Here we go, nice and smooth. Head code lights up on this model, it's quite nice, and you have there's a little switch underneath so you can have the tail lights on or off. I've got them off at the moment. And it's a very quiet mechanism. There is a slight fault with this loco. They were being sold cheap by Hattons, and I think it must have been a bad batch because it does lean over slightly to one side, but it's not terrible. And yeah, that was cheap when I bought it. Of course, the buffer beam details, I did fit them all to one end I think at one time, but they've since done a runner, don't know where they went. It's got a crew in the front as well, or one end. So the Class 47s had this green livery with the full yellow ends well into the 70s. a lot of them, probably because there were so many of them and it took them a while to get round to painting them, I suppose. But, yeah, fairly common sight back in the day. I don't remember the vents on the radiator end being painted silver, but they were probably just mucky. Yeah, looks like quite a good model, doesn't it? Let's speed him up a bit and see how that looks. Let's give him 50%. Right. There he goes. Great stuff. Anyway, I've got a couple more American diesels to show you. Not today, but probably in the next video. And so I hope you look forward to that. I might have something else to look at as well. Interesting. So yeah, stick around for that. And I'll see you soon. Have a good bank holiday, what's left of it, and bye for now.